Love Hurts. This movie was rough. This is an 83-minute Ke Huy Quan comedy movie, which stars Ke Huy Quan as Marvin Gable. He's a real estate agent who's got it all going for him. He's got a successful business. When all of that comes crashing down, when he gets a phone call from Rose, played by Ariana DeBose, his ex-lover who's on the run, and apparently turns out Marvin Gable used to be this former assassin who fell in love with Rose, and then when he was instructed to kill her by his older brother, who's a Yakuza boss played by Daniel Wu, he didn't kill her. He let her go, said never come back, but now she's back with a vengeance. There's these goons trying to get him. Marshawn Lynch is one of the goons. Also, Sean Astin plays this cowboy hat wearing real estate guy who runs Marvin's real estate company. I think he runs it. Their relationship is not really clearly defined. There's one scene where Sean Astin shows up and he's like, I trusted you. I gave you everything you asked. You're like a brother to me. And really, the whole dynamic between them is fine. It adds this bit in there where Sean Astin, spoiler alert, Sean Astin, is approached by the brother and he's going to die. And he, gives some speech where he's just he knows it's his time. And it's just, this movie just doesn't work in any way. It's a really, really bad movie. The first red flag to me was when I saw the trailer, I had no interest in this movie. The second red flag was it used Ariana DeBose and Ke Huy Quan. They're both Academy Award winners. And as soon as I saw it's Academy Award winner, Ke Huy Quan, Academy Award winner, Ariana DeBose, I'm like, usually movies don't even market that unless it's a drama. It's they were really trying to sell people on this movie. Also, just the plot of the movie makes absolutely no sense. It came out right before Valentine's Day. The whole movie is basically kind of structured to work for Valentine's Day. There's a lot of heart elements, a lot of romance elements. Marvin, the main character, hands out cookies at the beginning, heart cookies. None of this, though, works. And a lot of people said this, and I really agree. It feels like 5 different movies in one. But the main issue is it never really picks a lane to commit to. I just reviewed Heart Eyes. What I liked about Heart Eyes is it's a romance and horror comedy, but it really commits to being a rom-com with horror elements in there, and it really commits to that. Even when there's slasher moments going on, the main characters are still joking and doing romantic banter. The movie's consistent. In Love Hurts, there's never any consistency. One moment, it's Valentine's Day. The next, his brother says, you're wanted, I want to kill you. Then there's an action sequence. And none of it has to do with Valentine's Day either. It's just a random, boring action scene in a kitchen. And then there's just more dialogue and back and forth between Rose and Marvin. The whole plot is just extremely convoluted. Also, this has one of those issues where the movie begins and it's we've missed the entire first act. It's 83 minutes. The movie itself is probably without credits an hour and 17 minutes. But because we know nothing about Marvin or his backstory or his relationship with his brother or what they even did together or what Marvin was capable of, they imply he was some hitman assassin, but we never see any of that. So it really doesn't register. Or his relationship with Rose. So when Rose is back and he has to kind of, reunite with her and they have a bit of history, none of it works or makes sense because we haven't seen any of it. It's literally like Kraven the Hunter, and Ariana DeBose has been on the worst streak of post-Oscar movies, since Cuba Gooding Jr. She has just been in terrible movies. And the thing is, I really do wish we got backstory because I had nothing to latch onto. I was just so bored. Marshawn Lynch, why is he even in this? He's just muscle. But he has no backstory. There's no fun moments with him. Sean Astin has no backstory. All these characters are just there to support a story that has no, interesting backbone from the first place. And then on top of that, the Valentine's Day element. This movie's called Love Hurts. It has hearts all over the poster. The main idea is that Rose and him are in love, but, they're fighting or whatever. But none of that ever just works. There's never this big Valentine's Day moment. There's never a moment where, it thematically connects. There's a weird side plot with this poet assassin who comes after Marvin, and one of Marvin's workers, who works at the real estate office, falls in love with him. She, finds him passed out after they have a fight in the real estate office, and they're, in love. It just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And if the movie wanted to make it work, they could have this over-the-top energy, like Heart Eyes. Heart Eyes works because it commits to being over-the-top and silly. But I think that this movie, just none of what it ever really puts out there feels believable, especially in the world of the movie. If they really wanted to make this world believable, they would need to flesh it out way more. At the end of the day, this feels like a script for an action comedy that has just been sitting around forever. It's probably got like a very low budget to make this, and they decided, why not cast Ke Huy Quan? I really love Ke Huy Quan. He is an amazing actor. His energy is infectious. He's so good in this lead role, but sadly the movie itself is awful. And as a result, he has nothing really great to do here. And it sucks because he's a great actor, and you can tell he's putting his all into the performance. Same with Marshawn Lynch. I love Marshawn Lynch in Bottoms, and obviously he's not really an actor. He was transitioning from being an athlete to doing these movies, but he has so much more to do in Bottoms. He's so much funnier in Bottoms. Here, it's just like he's regurgitating cliche, henchman lines. It just feels like a terribly broken movie that so far is the worst film I've seen this year. It was very boring. It was only an hour and 17 minutes, yet I kept thinking, when is this going to be over? Because we never have any hook from the beginning. It's just, you find out he's a hitman, but you're constantly wondering why. What did he do? What's his relationship with the Rose, with his brother? Why are the hitmen after him, these henchmen? It just asks so much, and it never gives you anything. So Love Hurts, it's pretty bad. I recommend Hard Eyes if you're going for a good Valentine's Day movie. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching.